To really learn, you have to get out of your comfort zone. My name is Bruce Rule. I'm a writer and editor, and I help my clients with all kinds of communications, whether it's social media, reports, articles, speeches, basically anything they write, I edit and make better, or I just write it myself for them. I also teach public speaking, both in workshops and with individual clients. And I've published a book called Heartfelt Goodbye, How to Write and Deliver the Eulogy Your Loved One Deserves. And it's gotten very good reviews. And if you know someone who's facing the loss or has faced the loss, please share this resource with them, because I think it would help them with proper tribute to their loved one. And I wanted to talk to you this week about continuing your learning. I'm a big believer in that. I've talked about that in previous videos, how you have to keep learning in your field and sort of outside your field to really be successful as a freelancer, or really in anything in life, but certainly as a freelancer. You have to stay up on things. You have to keep current. And this week, I started back at college, university. Yeah. And I'm fortunate I live in a state where if you're over 60, you can go to the university tuition free. So I signed up for some classes. And I signed up for classes in the writing field because I'm a writer, obviously. But they had journalism classes, they had business writing classes. I don't need those classes because those are already in my wheelhouse. I already know how to do journalism. I already know how to do. Instead, the class that I really picked to get outside my comfort zone was writing for gaming. Now, I don't do any gaming. In fact, I even told the class at the first class, and everybody got a kick out of it. The only video game I've ever owned in my life was a game called Pong, which came out in 1972. And all it was two little dots, and a third dot would go in between the two. Beep, and you go beep, 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 back and forth. Very basic. You didn't have to do any writing at all. Why did I pick this when I don't know anything about gaming? I don't know anything about the culture of gaming. It's because it's so far out of my comfort zone that it's going to force me to be embarrassed and uncomfortable so I can learn. And once you get over that embarrassment and that uncomfortable feeling, like, oh my God, what am I doing here? It becomes easier to learn in a way because because you haven't been exposed to any of it. And so everything is new, everything is different. And I felt that this would be a real challenge for me. And I was hearing things in the first class. I didn't even understand half of the jargon involved. But I've done the lesson, or at least one of the lessons so far, and I got a sense of, okay, I understand what they're doing, because when you're writing for gaming, the real trick to the writing is to get the person who's doing the role-playing game to believe they're the character and to make sure that they're acting as the character would act rather than what the game requires. In other words, if the player is in a situation where the character in that world would say, run off to help a fellow character who's drowning, that's what you want the player to do. Even if the option is, oh, I can run off and help this person who's drowning, or I can do what the game wants me to do, which is run the other direction because I'll get further ahead. That's where the key is in the best writing, is getting the player to feel so in tune with the character that he's going to do what the character would want to do, rather than what the game would want him to do, just to win the game. And it's very, very tricky. It's very interesting. And it's completely out of my field. you know. And I think, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Even the teacher was sort of laughing at how um, simplistic some of my questions were. But the good thing is, 40 years of journalism, I'm used to asking questions. I'm not embarrassed about asking questions. But it's important for me to do this because it is a field that I don't know anything about. And it's a form of writing that I'm not familiar with and that I can learn from. And three, it's also something that younger people are very familiar with. And so I'm out of my comfort zone that way too, because now I'm dealing with a bunch of 20, 22-year-olds in college and asking them questions. We were in a group project together and we got along fine. But it was interesting to sit there with four guys in their early 20s and talk about a game and talk about, how things are going and what have you. It was a way for me to force myself out of my comfort zone and learn something new. And I think that's really a key to a freelancer's success. You have to be willing to learn and you have to be willing to put yourself out of the comfort zone to learn. Is that something you do? Is that something you think you should do? In which case, why aren't you doing it? Please comment down below. Also, like and share this video because I do think that this is helpful for all freelancers to understand. In fact, it's helpful for everybody to understand. If you want to learn, you got to get out of your comfort zone, period. Okay? And hit the subscribe button because YouTube and I really would appreciate it. And this way you get notified anytime I put up a new video. Until next week, take care. Bye.